columns. We can arrange, transform, transpose. In the Excel, we do a lot of, transpose functionality, right? So it's more like a transpose from the column format into row format.
Yeah, Sita, and the new one gives the 36 observations, right?
Yes, correct. So you can see this, 36 observation. You can see the 36
So
here.
what we did, yeah, I got it now. So, okay.
Okay, so if you have a month, if you have a month like this, that means, we have 12 months, okay, and then it will become, 9 into 12, it will become what, 108 rows. Okay.
May I use the use of this type of gathering because anyway from the 9 observations table we extended to 36 observation table, right?
Yeah.
So
many times, we wanted data to be in the particular format because when you collect the data from the ground up, from the business users, the data will not be in proper format. They'll be giving either this format or this format, correct? And so you need to transpose back and forth because when you're going to use a particular machine learning algorithm, the algorithm exports the data in a specific format, either in a format like quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, or probably the format which I created new.
Yeah, okay. So for transforming from one form to another form only for this.
Yes, correct. Yes, yes.
No use for the calculations or the other stuff.
No. You can do the calculation also because from the calculation, from the quarter, I can find out if this way, then I can use the average for the quarter. I can create a new field called average, correct? Then I can calculate the function called average and pass all the field name like quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. It will give the average of all the quarters.
Okay.
I can create a new call using mutate function. I can create a new field. So it's mainly, transforming and creating a new column because, like I said, the data which you are going to get from the business user or the ground level, you cannot use it on the direct way. You need to prepare a lot of information, clean it out information, tidy the information before pass it down to machine learning algorithm. So all this information, like, it will help us to transform the data into a specific format. So when we are going to data, the data machine learning language, it expects, the data frame in a specific format. So that's what we want to, understand all the transformation now, and we'll execute the transformation when we are going to execute a particular, machine learning algorithm. Suppose if you are getting a data set like this, comp, year, quarter, and revenue, you want to convert into this format, correct? So you will be executing the the transform, correct, Kiran?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So gather is is nothing but gathering the 4 fields into 2 fields like what we defined. Okay, that's the gathered information. Whereas the spread is just opposite to what we did in the gathering. So it will spread this information into a different format, like whatever we have. Okay, I can show is another example, or the same example also we can do. So let me execute the command. Here I'm going to execute. Okay, I'm going to create. Like this, instead of stock, I'm going to create a new data frame. Okay, here I'm going to convert the existing new. Okay, so I'm going to pass the data frame. Okay, which is df new. Okay, which one I created like this. Okay, this is the format I created now. This is gathered. From that, I'm going to create a new data set like this. Okay, it's just reverse of what we did in gather. So I'm going to create, use this df underscore spread. Okay. So I'm going to create a new data set called spread using the data frame I created just now, and I'm going to give this information because it has only 2 fields. Now I'm going to use quarter, which is the column I want to spread quarter, and this will be the revenue. Yeah, quarter is capital Q.
Now it will transform from the 36 observations to 9 observations, right?
Yes. So yeah, it will create a similar data frame like this. The old one. So old one we have in DF, and new one we are going to use in DF underscore spread. So I'm going to create a new data frame so that we can compare. It should be the same way what we did create a new data frame DF. Okay. So it is going to transform this data frame into this thing. So let me execute. So you can see this, DF is 9 observation, 6 variable, and DF spread also 9 observation new variable. So I can see the head of
DF spread.
DF underscore spread. So it will be the same way as what we created here. DF and DF spread will be the same. Okay. Why I didn't execute this one, I'm leaving to you guys so that you can execute this one to understand how the stocks are created for your guys. So it is a typical stock for 3 stock XYZ. It will give some kind of values. So I'm going to give this one to you guys so that you can use the stock function this is coming from tidyr package. Okay, how we can tidy that information. Tidy means very narrow, very wide. How can you expand the data set? That's called tidy. So I'm giving to you guys so that you can do it from your own side. I'm going to use the existing the data frame here. Similarly, I can use separate and unit 2 more functions, 2 more operations. This is basically it's going to separate certain text command into a different values. Like if you have a character set which has like first name, last name is combined together. Okay, you are getting a name. Okay, name as a single column. Say the name can say Sita Raman, but you want to convert the name into 2 columns. First name, last name. So the name normally separated by either by a comma or probably a space. Okay. So normally we give name Sitaraman, comma Sigamani, correct? That's what first name, last name. But you want to create a new column called first name, last name, and you want to put the values appropriately by using the separated comma. So the separate and unit columns will help you to do the stuff. So let me use the data frame. So I'm going to use rather than X, probably I'm going to give names as a database. First column I'm going to create like that. Second one I'm going to create Sitaraman Sigamani. This is my first name. This is my last name. Then I'm going to use Ajay Kiran. Okay, then third name will be Lalita R, and probably
Sri.
Okay, Lalita Sri. You're particular about it. Your last name, correct? I can understand. Okay, then Rogan. Probably Rogan, I can put only for your first name if you don't mind. Last name?
Yep, Rogan is okay.
Okay, what is the last name initial?
BHA Barolia. BHAROLIA. B as in boy. B as in BHA.
No, I do HAM.
No. B as in boy. It starts with B H.
B.
No. B.
B for boy.
B as in boy. Remove the M.
Okay, B.
HARO LIA.
Okay. Logan Barolia. Okay. So
Yeah.
this is three variable. Okay. Normally, when you're going to get the data set, typically, if you're getting a name, you will be getting like this. Okay. Sitaraman Sigamani, you will get it. So you want to split that, the entire name into, first name and last name, because both have a different meaning, right? First name, last name, or if you're getting something, you want to split that, data frame into different fields. So I created, data frame called, df underscore name, and it has only one column called names, and these are different values. Okay. So when you look at df name, you can see this, 5 observation, because this is one observation which is empty and 4 observation created anywhere. So let me look at how it looked like. So this is a data frame which is consists of 5 records. I want to split this, data frame into, column contains, first name and last name instead of just only the names. So many times you will get a scenario like this where you need to, split the columns into a couple of times. Probably, example, if you're going to get product group and product name into one single column, but both are separated by comma or some other special characters, or if you're getting an email ID, email ID, you're going to split the name, first the name and domain, which is separated by the ampersand at symbol. You want to split, okay, what is the domain of the email ID, what is the name of the person. So you can split up into the multiple scenarios. These are typical scenarios will come, you want to split the email into, multiple columns like first name, last name, what is the domain, etc., etc. You can, we can split up. So, I'm going to use the separate command, and, put into separate, columns. Okay. So, typically, okay, I'm going to give that, again, new data frame, data frames underscore separate. I'm going to pass on what are the existing data frame, which is nothing but df name. Okay, then separate. There is no X, instead of that, I have the name columns. So names is the column, and I want to create a new 2 columns, which is first name and last name. Okay. So this will
use any operators, right?
You can use any operators. You can use any operator, because the third one, it will be by default. It will select as a, it will check for any non-numeric characters. Okay. So the space is non-numeric characters. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not defining any. So if you look at see, if you look at it, I can define a separate operator here, like they do. I can define a separate operator for separate command. I can specify which character should be defined. By default, it's a space, but it will check for any non-numeric characters also. Like apart from ABCD, it will check. So here, space is a non-numeric, correct?
Yeah, right.
So I can define, automatically it takes up. But if you have, call what you call, email, the ampersand at symbol will be the character we want to separate, correct?
Yeah.
So I can do that way also. So let me execute. So I created a new column, new data frame.
No, I think it's
first name and last name.
Yeah.
I'm going to execute. So in the the script column, I can highlight those data frame. I can just run it. It will display the name. So you see that I created first name, last name, I'm able to split.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like that we can do a lot of things. I think for, getting the help, my understanding ID or
Yeah. Title?
okay, yeah. Sometimes I do a lot of okay. I give how to get the help of this one. I check out in this particular sheet. I'll pass on the sheet. We can get what kind of separated between. I think my understanding it's a separated equal to see here you can see this what is the separator. So we can give what is the separator here. Separates. My understanding is separate underscore like that.
Using
Many times we can give command or something like that. No. But I think it's not right command. It will give the error. Okay, it's executed. But if you have comma, okay, let me put comma for all this case. I created data frame. It has comma. I created new data frame. See, able to see. So I created all the records. Similarly, if you have email, I can see that I can pass on @ example. But it should be only one character. We cannot have multiple because if Sitaram has here @ then somebody has other symbol, it will not work out.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. So I'm combining it. I created new data sets. It has value like Sridharaman, Akshigamuni, Adi, etc. like that. I'm going to create a new data frame with a separated function involved. I'm going to execute. It does that. So any characters you can define.
Okay.
Okay. So similarly, from the separator, I can use function called unite. I'm not going to execute, but you can execute the commands. I want to give this as a small exercise for you guys. It's just reverse of what we did.
Yeah.
In the separate, it's just a unit. Okay. So I'm not going to execute. I'll give this command so that you can execute. This particular function is for on the there's empty cost data frame which is already available in R, which you can execute from your side, and you see how that the command will look like. I'm not going to execute. I'll leave it to you for you guys so that you can execute. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So I'll give this the sheet to you guys probably after this session. Meanwhile, I want to cover one more piping operator. Piping operator is from the deploy package. It's more like it will perform a lot of sequential operation in a single step. Like we execute a lot of sequential operation, correct? Like we executed Q1, Q2, Q3, everything, correct? Like that, there are multiple operations we can perform in a data frame. Whereas piping operator, take the data frame, give it to the first pipe, do the something, and take the output, give it to other operation, do the something, and do the the other operation. So sequential operation we can perform through piping operator. So everything will be in sequential. So we are taking the output. A data frame is a normal output. Take the output, perform one operation. The operation will return some output. That output will go to second operation. There we perform some operation. Again, the output will go like that. We can do multiple operations in a single command. Everything is single because when we do like this, we are not going to create multiple variables so that memory will be efficient and reading will be so smooth. We can understand everything in a sequential. Okay, so I'm going to create a new data frame called DF. Okay, let me create a DF. Let me remove all the stuff. I can create the environment. So environment is empty. Okay, so let me okay, so I'm going to use, so all the variables are gone. There is no variable, so that means I need to create everything from scratch. So let me execute this command. I'm going to create a new data set called empty df. Empty class is already existing when you install RStudio and package. This particular data frame already will be there by default. So let me execute. So I got a data frame called 32 observation, df and 11 variables. This particular data frame is about cars, various cars. So let me show the head of df. So it talks about various car models. It's a mileage per hour. What is the cylinder type? What is the displacement, etc. What is the horsepower, etc., etc. You get there. So this is a small data set available inbuilt in R. So this is a command like I want to execute. I want to filter out. Let me show that. Okay. So what this does is this is the first command. I want to filter the information from the DF. Records more than MPEG more than 20. So normally when we are trying we can execute. Okay, when I'm trying this one, it will it will filter all the information MPEG more than 20. So it's done the record. It returned 14 records. Okay, then from that I'm going to select a sample record of 5 records. Okay. So it will take from this 14 records, it will select a sample of 5 records. So I'm going to execute the second command. See, it executed 5 commands. So it executed this record, this executed this one, executed this one, executed this one, and selected this one. So the first one I have filtered the data set by a certain condition. And second command is, I'm going to select some sample records. And third command, I'm going to, arrange in a sequential. Or object-oriented programming. So this, when we do like this, it will execute first. It will execute this one, the filter function. Once filter function is done, next it execute the arrange function, and third one it operate on the third one, the arrange function and everything. So all the 3 or 4 operation I can combine multiple operation in a single command. I can execute, here bottom I executed, 3 commands, correct? Like 1, 2, 3 in a sequential. I can execute everything in a combined one single operation like this. Again, the operations are same. But the only thing, since sample and returns a different, sample, The records are different, but the operation is same. You understand, guys? Because sample then always return a random sample. Random will be always, different when we execute multiple times. Previously, I executed, the entire command into 3 smaller operations, but here I am executing a single operation. Understand?
Yeah, got it, Sita.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is not a readable cut. Many times, if you do this way, you understand, okay, which operation is executed first. I want to have a single line operation, but I want to go in a sequence here. Okay, that's what the piping operator comes. I did this way, correct? This is what I did. Single operation, correct? First I executed filter operation. I can assign to a multiple data frame, but I did assign now because I created everything is. See here, I created a filter which is nothing but same function, but only thing I didn't use it. I did assign to any variable. I can assign easily. So let me assign A to filter. So I created a variable called A. Then I'm going to select a sample from the A, which is 14 records. The 14 records, I'm going to come to 5, a sample records. B is 5, you can see B is 5. Then I'm going to arrange another data frame called, I'm going to sort the B into a descending order. Okay, so this is, same as B, but it's all arranged in a descending order. So it's a very cumbersome operator. Right? I need to execute 3 commands. It will occupy certain memory in a data frame. But here we are talking about only 14 records. But if you are getting large data set, when you could execute multiple operations, it will occupy a lot of memory, and it's not a best practice, and performance will impact. So everything I can use using piping operator. Very simple. What are the operation you are performing? See here I perform 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pass on everything into piping operator. So first, my input always will be the data frame df, which is the data frame I'm going to pass. So I'm going to use the piping operator. This is nothing but a piping operator. Percentage greater than percentage called piping operator. That means I'm going to pass this data frame into a pipe. The pipe will take this data frame into a operation center. It will perform. Then it will take it to the other operation to perform. Typically, in a factory assembly set, when you're doing something, it will take that output into something else. Like you are packaging a food, first it will put into a container, and then it will load the food. Then go to the labeling session. It will label. It will go to final packing. It will do the packing. It's like a typical manufacturing unit. They are going to execute all these functions in a piping operator. I just copied here, like I'm going to put filter operation. Okay, so this one will do this. This will return the output called this output will pass it to sample. So we are here we are just selecting a size because automatically it will select the output of the previous operation. So previous operation is filter, and sample will take that output of filter and apply this sample size. Okay, then it will pass it on to the arrange function. The arrange function will take that the 5 samples which we got from the previous operation, and it will filter on the particular sort on the particular column and return the output. So let me execute that one. Okay, this way I did it. I can put it into any data frame called final. I want to perform all this operation in a single command and put it into a data frame called final. So final nothing but it should be the same as C. It may not be because
The notation is not wrong.
Oh, yeah. I know. I always, when you do multiple times, programming in multiple, like, Python and, R, you get confused.
So this is a one-way pipe, right?
It's one-way pipe, yeah.
Yeah.
So either you can do pipe or, the new R function, works even equivalent symbol also. It does both.
No, yeah, that's what I know. But
Yeah.
the pipe symbol is working only one way, right? Not
One way. Because pipe is one way. When you look at the factory or manufacturing unit, it's always the what you call the belt, the conveyor belt always one way, correct? It goes. It takes the input, goes to some So pipe output is similar to that one. It takes the output, goes to another processing system, process, and that output goes to another processing unit, process something like that. It will do. So if you look at, I did the 4 operation. I took input a data frame, TF, I pass it on to a piping operator. Then it's filtering it out, and that output go to sample. It takes a sample output, and it goes to another operation called, that's a final operation, arrange. Once it's done, the output will be assigned to a data frame called final.
Yeah, got it.
So it's a very useful operator. Many of the data scientists use this operator. So you try to explore this one. Very easy to read. We can combine multiple operations into one single, so that we can avoid, creating many variables like A, B, C, or many steps which I created here. Like I created, what you call. These steps are created, arrange, filter, everything. We can avoid, we can directly create one operator. That's it. It's more like automation. Okay. So that's what piping operator really helpful, to understand. It will, avoid creating multiple variables. It is better performance for R program because you are not creating any new data frames or intermediate data frames. Okay. So guys, that stops today's session. Today we covered the 2 packages, mainly tidyr and the deployr, and we saw how the piping operator works. I'll give this, the exercise books and class notes to you guys. I'll upload it to, the Google, Google Drive, and I'll share the link with you. Only thing, I need an email ID of, Rohan. Rohan, you can send the email ID so that I can, give the link to you guys. So, guys, any questions as of now?
No, Sita.
Hope you find it, very useful, because this is a very base. We are going to use a lot of these operations when you are going to do the machine learning project, or when you're going to apply the concept there. I'll pass on all the cheat sheet also, all the sheet I prepared today, so that you can remember all the operations, whatever, I saw only probably, 40% or 50%. There are a lot of operations we can do using deploy R and tidyr, but, the concept is the same. We cannot cover everything in 2 hours. It will take a lot of time, We need a proper data sets. We do execute it will take at least 4 to 5 hours.
Okay, Sita, thank you.
Okay, Lalita and Rohan, any questions?
Right now, no questions.
Okay. So you guys execute. If you find any difficulties, you can drop a mail. I'll give this, exercise notebook to you guys. I'm not going to share the solution notebook. But if you are finding any difficulty, probably tomorrow morning I'll send the solution workbook, the comments and the output, so that you can verify your operation with the solution notebook.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So Rohan, you can install, today the both R and R Studio. Rohan, are you there?
Hello?
I think he's left.
Yeah, I think he's out. My understanding probably is mute.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to talk to